I shot the entire movie with 2 actors in a theater. For the narrator, I asked to Jean-Louis Trintignant, who was one of our best actors. He was blind.
Et son cœur ont un cœur.
I've been sent the book by the producer Patrick Sobelman, and the fact is that Jean-Claude Rimbert is my parents' best friend since they were 16, and now they are 86 and 87, and so I always knew Jean-Claude Rimbert, and I knew his work for sure, and his mind. He has a very special mind. He's very he can be very angry, but also very funny, and he's a very deep man. When they sent me the book, the sweetness of the story and the fact that it was a tale and addressed to kids was very touching for me, and I was overwhelmed by that story. I thought it was a beautiful story and very new in a way. The way he talked about Jewish genocide. To tell the entire story, his father has been deported in 1943 when he was 4. So it's been maybe 16 years that he's writing about this topic. And this book is a very simple story, very modest, very humble story, written as a tale. And the fact that it's a tale gives to the story a huge power because it brings the story to a universal level. And also it's for the kids. So I really love the book. And sometimes you have wonderful books, but you know it's not for a movie. It's just made to be a book, and a good book. But this one, I thought the story was powerful enough to be a script. In the book, I think there is you can find the word Jewish or Nazis, but I wanted to keep them out of the movie. The fact that it was a tale, that was very, very new for me, and I think it was a wonderful gesture and very innovative. To tell that story as a tale was very, very clever and very important, because when you do this, when you in tales, the characters have no name. The places are not precise, and so it gives to the story something universal. We can all connect with all the characters, and that changed a lot for that very specific story of the Jewish genocide. Because when you say it's a Jewish genocide, the Jewish are the victims and the German are the killers. As a Jew, you can feel you are the victim. As a German, you are the killer. And if you're neither German or Jewish, you can say it's not my story. If you take all these words out, you say some people killed, some people have been killed, some other people helped. You can connect to these people. It's not, there's no point of being Jewish or being German or being, it's just people, men and women. And the tale gives you that. The tale brings the story at that level. And you can feel when you read the book or when you watch the movie, that I could be the killer, or I could be the victim. But where this story is, I think, wonderful is that there is a good news. I also can be a good man. I also can be a decent person, what we call the righteous against the nation. People who are not Jewish, not German, or maybe German, but not Jewish, and people who saved Jews during the war. So that was very important for me to keep all these words out. Everybody knows what we're talking about, but bringing the story to that level creates something very, very special. And I have to say, when I did a very long promotion tour in France, all over the country, and I did a lot of screening for young people, 14, 15, 16. And these young people, where I went, there was a lot of people from the immigration, from North Africa, Africa, Asia, all over the world. And they all connected to that story in a very intimate way. And this was not so obvious because the international situation, the war in Israel, Palestine, I mean, it could have been a topic or something a little bit tricky to deal with. And I had no problem at all. I mean, all the kids were very, very connected in a very simple way to that story. And I thought it was very good. I was very happy to bring a very simple and humanist message to these people, and they were, I mean, they could receive it in a very simple way. The fact that it's animated was part of the offer, and Jean-Claude Rambert wanted it to be an animated. Anyway, it was obvious for me because I would never, I mean, never say never, but I think I would never do that kind of sequences with actors. Because of the topic, the representation of the Jewish genocide has been a long story in cinema, and it's very difficult to represent what can't be represented or what can't be told. It's in French we say indicible. That would be something like inexpressible. For many years it was just documentaries and people testifying. Now the survivors are dying, so fiction start to work on that topic. And but still, I mean, I wouldn't ask to actors to pretend they are deported in a train for Auschwitz, and I'm not comfortable with the out of frame. I mean, I know that the actors have everything they want out of frame, and I know they're pretending, and I'm not comfortable with that idea. Animation is very different because there are nothing out of frame. Drawings are made just for that story, and they do not pretend, they do not lie. Drawings are just a proposition, a suggestion. So it's a paradox. In a way, they are less realistic, but because they don't lie, they may be closer to a sort of truth, I would say. I always storyboard my movies, but I do storyboard for live action movies, so it's different in animation. Where in live action, you draw the shots you want to do on set. In storyboard, you do every shot that will be in the movie. But how we proceed in animation, you don't have really the step of editing. And for me, writing a movie starts with the script, continues on set, but you finish the writing when you edit the movie. So I wanted to edit. So in 2 weeks, I shot the entire movie with 2 actors in a theater. We like a very small crew. We were 4, I think. So it was like a workshop. But I did everything. All the shot that I couldn't shoot was I would draw the missing shots. But that allowed me to edit and to try everything and to structure every sequence, everything. From that cut, we did the real animation storyboard, very precise, and from that storyboard, we did the animatic and then the animation. But the main thing was to incorporate the process of editing in the craft of the movie. And also, it's very expensive. That kind of animation, traditional animation, is very expensive. So every minute you count every minute. So the executive producer at the very beginning told me, you can have 75 minutes, not 76, not 77, 75. So I said, okay, so editing was a way to really control the duration of the movie and to put everything in 75 minutes. At the end, I had some shots almost without animation, without characters, so I bring the movie to 78 minutes or 77 minutes or animation, but still it's the good duration. So I draw since I was 10, so I decided to draw by myself all the characters. That's what I did. But I have my style of drawing is very classical, like a pencil and paper, and I don't draw on computer and everything. So it's very old style drawing, very classical. And so we had to do some back and forth with the crew, because it's very difficult to you don't animate that kind of drawings. You can do it, but there's too many lines in a way. So we had to simplify the lines. And then for the entire image, when I read the book, I felt it was a classical. I felt it was almost like if the story existed before the author wrote it, like the classical tales. And I wanted to keep that kind of flavor in the movie. I wanted a timeless style. When you think about classic in animation, you go to the first Disney movie, but it was not exactly what I wanted. So I went further, and I went to the French classic paintings of the 19th century. And but you can't animate this. So and then I went to an exhibition of Hiroshige. He's a Japanese painter, and the mix of this classical painter and engraving could be animated, and there was a French trend called Japonism, and it was the mix between painting and engraving, Japanese engraving. So that was the direction we chose.
Dans un grand bois, un pauvre bûcheron et une pauvre bûcheronne. Le froid, la faim, la misère leur rendaient la vie bien difficile.
For the narrator, I asked to Jean-Louis Trintignant, who was one of our best actors, and in my opinion, the most beautiful voice of all French cinema. And he was 90 when I called him, and he was already sick, and he was blind. His wife read him the script. He loved it, and he called me. He said, "Okay, I'm going to do it, but I need time to learn the lines by heart because he was blind." So his wife helped him. He asked me to record him all his lines, what I did, and we spoke a lot. And he was very nice and very engaged in the process of the movie. And one day he called me and he said, "Okay, I'm ready." And so with the producer, we went. He would live in the south of France, so we took the train, and we've been to a studio close to his house, and we recorded. And it was very moving to see this old man telling this text for kids, also written by another old man. And I don't know, I was very touched by this recording session.